Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Primal Origin discussion video. Today's video will be on Vector's cards that are in Primal Origin, and we'll start off with Umbral Horror Ghost, which is a level 2 Dark Fiend effect monster, 200 attack, 200 defense, and its effect is, if this card is in your hand, you can special summon both this card and one level 4 or lower Fiend type monster from your hand. You cannot normal summon or set during the turn you activate this effect. You can only use the effect of Umbral Horror Ghost once per turn.
Obviously, this is really nice for a lot of Fiend decks, particularly the lower level ones. Things like Malice Forest or Fabled and Infernities can even take advantage of this. It lets you special summon just about anything from your hand as well as this card. Not so much synergizing with the Umbral Horrors aside from Will-O-the-Wisp, but it is really useful for other Fiend decks.
Yeah, so if you are using it in like a Fable deck, you could bring out like a Cerebrus and go for a level 4 Synchro that way, which could get you, I think there's 3 options now. Armory Arm, you have the Belmung, and you have the new one that just came out that sort of allows you to... is a Synchro
Dragon.
Yeah, Synchro Tuner, which will allow you to go between 1 and 4 and sort of do some cool plays that way. With Will-O-the-Wisp, though, you... would be able to target this card and do a level 2 rank play that way, or if you do wait a turn and summon another one of these, you would be able to go into number 43, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Another cool thing you can do with this, use this with like the Resonators to make really easy level 5 Synchro plays, because pretty much all of them are level 4 or lower Fiends, so you can use that to bring out like Mistbird Clausulus with like Barrier Resonator, or use Dark or Creation Resonator for like Catastor or Armades. Alright, and then next we have number 43, Soul Marionetter. It's a Dark Fiend Xyz effect monster, rank 2. It's got 0 attack and 0 defense, and it takes 3 level 2 Dark monsters to summon. Now once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, target one number monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. While it's equipped with a number monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And then once per turn, when you gain life points, you can have this card gain attack equal to the amount of life points you gained, also inflict that much damage to your opponent.
So you're probably going to want to summon this after you've already summoned another monster, so you can allow this card to be protected by battle and card effects, which will also allow it to get its other effect off. When you gain life points, you can have this card gain attack and inflict damage, so you can sort of keep it in attack mode to lure your opponent in, and if they have a monster with over 2,000 attack, you can activate Nutrient Z after they attack, since you've lost 2,000 or more life points. That's going to allow you to gain their attack point, or you gain 4,000 attack points from Nutrient Z and gain your life points back that way.
Yeah, obviously this card does require some setup. One nice thing you can do, if you use Xyz Shift to summon this card, you can just by definition, if you use it on like a Dark Mist or a Djinn Buster, you'll by definition already have a number in the graveyard to detach Xyz Shift and then equip to this card. Obviously that will make it so this card is not Xyz summoned properly, so you can't like resummon it after the fact, but you do have protection from just about everything then.
Yeah, so that's not going to allow you to use Xyz Reborn or something of the sort.
Now obviously it's really good with cards that increase your life points really quickly, like Draining Shield or Nutrient Z, but if you do have like a passive life point gaining card, like the card we'll talk about later, Dawn Thousand Throne, or like Solemn Wishes, you can just steadily just gain like 500 attack points every turn.
And so, if you do have this card, and if you're going to be like steadily gaining life points, you're probably going to want to keep this card in defense position, since it will likely have the protection effect, since that's what you're kind of going for. You're going to be able to steadily gain that life points while keeping this card protected on the field until you have enough attack points to start attacking your opponent.
Another nice thing is being a level 2 or a rank 2 Dark Fiend, you can use Astral Force to summon a lot of different monsters with this card, like Steel Swarm Roach, Evil Swarm Exodon Knight, or no, Evil Swarm Exodon Knight's Dark or Light, I forgot about that. Yeah. But things like Rhapsody and Berserk, Maestroke, there's a whole bunch of different options with that. Another nice thing is you can use, like we talked about, number 80 and number C80 in the last video. If you equip those to this card, it does not have to have that number equipped by its effect. So if you use like number 80 or number C80 or even number 58 Burner Visor to equip to this card, you get that protection effect as well. plus some added bonuses. So
Yep, added attack or possible extra protection, which it doesn't necessarily really mean. Next we have number C43, Chaos Marionetter, which is a dark rank 3 Fiend Exceeds effect monster with 0 attack and 0 defense, and it requires 4 level 3 dark monsters to exceed summon normally. And its effect is tokens you control can attack twice during each battle phase. If this card has number 43 Soul Marionetter as an Exceeds material, it gains this effect. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card, special summon 1 Soul Puppet token, Fiend type Dark, level 1, attack ? Defense ? And when summoned, its attack and defense become equal to half of your opponent's current life points.
obviously this card is a really good buff in terms of it, just like any deck that uses tokens that are even have a decent attack power, because it'll give them a double attack, and then you also have the ability you can summon your own very powerful token.
Yeah, my immediate thought was Mecha Phantom Beast, but their tokens don't really have any attack. Or wait, they have very little attack, but I guess you could use DNA Transplant on if you're running a more level 3 based
Mecha Phantom Beast deck.
Mecha Phantom Beast deck, thank you. If you're running a more level 3 based Mecha Phantom Beast deck, then you could use DNA Transplant to go into this card, and you'd have more tokens that way, I suppose.
Obviously, there's not a whole lot of tokens that are going to take advantage of this card, because most tokens have very low attack power. Some exceptions, obviously, being this card's token and things like Gore's tokens.
I think Physical Double, which sort of copies an opponent's attacking monster, would also be pretty good.
Or cloning.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot to take advantage of that. Like I said, most of the tokens are very low powered, but its own summoning makes it worth it there. Obviously, if you're not going to be able to summon tokens, or if you're not going to have this ready to go, it's not really something you're going to want to summon unless you would want to be ranking up number 43 to summon this card, unless you already have tokens. Otherwise, it's practically worthless, and you'd rather keep number 43. Alright, and then finally, we have the continuous spell card Don Thousand's Throne, which has the effect of, during your opponent's end phase, gain 500 life points for each time you took battle damage this turn. And then when a number monster you control is targeted for an attack, except a number C monster, you can send this card to the graveyard to negate that attack, and then special summon from your extra deck 1 number C monster whose name contains the same number as the attacked monster, using the attacking monster as an Exceeds material, and that is treated as an Exceeds summon. And you can only control 1 Don Thousand's Throne.
So this works pretty well in combination with Battle Unboxers, actually, because you do have the Battle Unboxer Bailout. So you could take battle damage, you'll gain that life points back, and then you'll still gain the 500 life points since you did take battle damage initially.
Yeah, that's kind of the major point of this. It's like every time you take battle damage, you get 500 life points back at the end of that turn. Obviously, it is during your opponent's turn, so you can't kind of milk this by attacking into your opponent's monster with a weaker monster or something like that. But it does let you kind of take advantage of, say, you had something that can't be destroyed by battle, like a Spirit Reaper or something like that, and you have them in attack mode. As long as you can kind of make it back up, then you'll be making the life points back. Or taking advantage of something like Battle Boxer Cheat Commissioner, which will make all your opponent's monsters attack, into things like that, causing you some battle damage.
Yeah, but you are only gaining 500 life points for each time you take battle damage, so obviously if you're going to be taking more than 500 life points for each attack, you're probably going to not want to do that.
Unless you're using something like number 43, where you're trying to take advantage of gaining life points. That's usually the only situation. Obviously, this card's ranking up effect is also very nice. It's in response to that monster being attacked. So instead of your monster getting attacked, you'll be able to just rank it up and then cause the replay. It does specify you do have to go directly from the number to its number C counterpart, but you can do it with any number.
So that is gonna also come into play if you are running Battle Unboxers, for say, because if you do have like Cheat Commissioner on the field for some reason, that is gonna make your opponent monsters attack everything besides Cheat Commissioner, at least until it's the last monster in the field. And if you have another number monster, you're going to be able to rank up your Battle Unboxers or other number monster through this card.
And obviously, this works out for some of the more difficult monsters. Obviously, this card combos very well with number 43 because you can pretty much just gain life points passively to increase number 43's attack, and then if at some point it were to be destroyed, you can just rank it up to number C43 anyway.
Yeah, so this could actually come into handy if you didn't have a number right away. You wanted to summon C43 and you didn't have a rank up magic, you could just let your 43 be destroyed and then just go into your C43. But I guess that's it for Vector's cards in Primal Origin. As always, leave your thoughts below on these cards, and we'll see you for the next video.